Hi, I'm Justin Agins, one of the partners of Synthesis. To give you insight into our processes, I'll be using an altered and redacted report from a fairly typical asbestos case. Note that the amount of detail we capture varies depending on the case and the preference of the expert. In general, we organize our summaries according to the way typical deposition unfolds. As such, our basic report can be broken into 4 main sections, each of which I will explain later in the video. But as you can see, they're named background, work history, exposure by product type or brand, and non-occupational exposures. Synthesis developed this organizational breakdown to reflect the way that plaintiffs give testimony on potential exposures. What you now see at the top of the page is the beginning of a Synthesis report, where we list the documents reviewed while creating the summary. Of particular note is that we cite each sentence in the report to the source document in which we found the information. Depending on the case, the report may include information from a variety of sources, including depositions, interrogatories, medical records, and Social Security records, among others. In this case, you'll see that we assign the letter code A to the plaintiff's deposition and the letter code B to the plaintiff's answers to interrogatories. In the body of the report, as mentioned earlier, there are 4 sections, the first being the background section. This section includes information such as personal and family medical history, smoking history, and education. Essentially, this section provides the basic biographical backdrop of the plaintiff. In this case, the plaintiff was diagnosed with emphysema. He started smoking at age 13, and he attended high school through the 9th grade. Next is the work history section. In a typical deposition or series of depositions, the lead attorney asks questions about a plaintiff's entire work history by employer and worksite. As noted earlier, we capture the level of detail preferred by each expert, but generally, we capture the work locations, dates of employment, facility description, and job descriptions for each worksite. As you can see in the report, the plaintiff joined the Navy in 1967. After basic training, he served on a ship for 1 year and 5 months as a mess cook and then in the boiler room. As I scroll down the document, you'll notice that the report includes the entire work history, with work sites organized chronologically. As you can see, he worked with various products, including boilers, at different work sites throughout his career. The third section contains exposure testimony by product type. In a typical deposition or series of depositions, an attorney representing each defendant asks the deponent questions about a product type, for example boilers, after the lead attorney finishes questioning the deponent about the plaintiff's general work history. These next questions are organized around the product type or brands within a product type, rather than by employer or worksite as in the preceding work history section. As is often the case, the questions do not indicate where or at which worksite a plaintiff may have encountered certain products, making organization of the information by worksite inappropriate. We capture as much of the contextual information regarding frequency, intensity, and duration of the plaintiff's work with or around a specific product in order to paint a picture that accurately summarizes the testimony. Often, an expert will want product-specific testimony about only some products. In this case, we captured product testimony only about boilers as requested. The testimony in this section was not attributed to any specific worksite, making its placement in this section appropriate, rather than trying to place this testimony in the work history section. The last section is where we capture testimony from a variety of non-occupational exposures. This can be secondary exposure from another person living in the same home, say a wife who did her husband's laundry, or a son whose father picked him up from school while still wearing his work clothing. Other typical non-occupational exposures include personal automotive work and home renovations. In this case, the plaintiff did some home remodeling work using joint compound, as well as automotive work involving brakes and clutches. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Please keep in mind that we are happy to customize these reports to each individual expert's preference, and what you saw here today is simply one possible output. Thanks again, and have a great day.